McDonald's has been coming out with these celebrity endorsed meals, and it's time to see which one of them's the best. Let's crush some calories.
Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off! Fast food, face off!
So I have all of the signature meals that McDonald's has put out over the last year alongside one another, and I want to see how these stack up against each other. We got the J Balvin meal, we have the BTS meal, we have Travis Scott, and then the brand new Saweetie meal. I'm gonna just get started from right and move my way over to the left, mainly because this one is the only one that has ice cream in it. Let's get into it. So what makes this meal special as far as what J Balvin orders is 1, Oreo McFlurry, which I like. 2, he doesn't get pickles on his Big Mac, to each their own. And then he orders his French fries with ketchup from McDonald's. Let's see how it tastes.
What's going on, Tasty Vibe Tribe? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this classic fast food face-off shootout.
Honestly, you don't notice a huge difference with the taste of the Big Mac because most people don't realize this. Thousand Island dressing already kind of has some sort of chopped up pickle inside of it. Again, like I said, I don't think that you notice much of a difference. You know, to each their own as far as not being the biggest fan of pickles.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Some people are particular about their toppings on their burgers. I'm not one of them. If it's pickles, onions, tomato, lettuce, it doesn't make a difference. I'm game for all of it.
It's been a long time since I've had McDonald's French fries with their ketchup. The ketchup at McDonald's is good and it complements their fries well. It's not just a generic ketchup. There's a little bit of tang to it. There's a little bit of sweetness. And it goes well with the overly kind of salty crispiness of their French fries. This all kind of goes well together. Three-second rule.
Come on, let's be real. You guys know you do that too.
Last up for the J Balvin meal is an Oreo McFlurry. I do like J Balvin style that he always has apparently a little something sweet with his McDonald's meal. Definitely my kind of guy. I don't know if it's because I haven't had McDonald's McFlurry in a very long time, mainly because their machines never seem to be operating, but this is very good. You have McDonald's soft serve, which is very good. And then you have the Oreo cookie bits that are in there, and they're not stingy on them. I added a little bit of the fudge that they have. Granted, that doesn't come with this, but I definitely think a pro tip would be to add some chocolate sauce to this or some fudge. It seems like I can't ever escape the cookies and cream thing in my videos. It's like every other few weeks I end up doing something with cookies and cream in it. I think that I secretly like cookies and cream stuff. I think maybe when I was a kid, I didn't like it as much, but as I get older, I think, yeah, I think when I'm not sure what I want for something sweet, cookies and cream definitely hits the spot.
Oreos, you finally broke me. After having so many of your products, I've switched to the dark side.
Brain freeze.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure you have the necessary equipment for a brain freeze, Josh.
I don't know how many times growing up that I thought that this was a straw as a kid. And no matter how many times I went to McDonald's, if I saw that sticking out, it's just like second nature to want to sip through. McDonald's, you need to invent one of those. The spoon straw, the spraw. TM. Next up, we have the BTS meal. So this was a cool one because it was McDonald's rolling out 2 new sauces exclusively for this meal. So you had the sweet chili and then their Cajun sauce. I'm curious to see how those are gonna pair up with the chicken nuggets and see if I get any of the Asian vibes that they were going for. Cajun sauce first. Now, the sweet chili sauce. So me personally, I like the sweet chili sauce a little bit better. It kind of has the sweet and sour sauce vibe, except there's a little bit of a kick of spice to it, which I imagine is that chili, and it's pretty nice. It's not quite the Szechuan sauce that everybody went crazy over during the Mulan era of McDonald's in the 90s, and then when they brought it back for Rick and Morty.
I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce, like as much as you're allowed to give me.
But it's pretty close, And I wouldn't be surprised if they honestly just kind of slightly revamped that recipe. But this is very good.
These dipping sauces may be new to the US, but they were inspired by existing sauces found on McDonald's South Korean menus.
So the Cajun sauce is growing on me. It's not bad. It kind of reminds me of almost like a spicy mustard without like the mustard seed, if that makes any sense. It's got that kind of a base. It just doesn't have an overly mustard flavor, but it has like a deli brown mustard kind of spice to it. But again, I do think, me personally, I like the spicy chili one better. Your guys' mileage may vary. As far as the french fries go, obviously they're in every meal. I'm not going to keep describing to you guys, but I am going to get through them. This is a large fry for this particular meal, but no matter what meal it's a part of, McDonald's fries or McDonald's fries, love them or hate them, I'm going to finish these up, and I'm going to try to get through as much of the liquids as I can when I'm doing these. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to get through all of them, but I'll slam back this Coke, and I'll keep moving along. I am curious to see how some of these fries taste with the individual sauces.
The Cajun sauce was really good with the fries, but I think my favorite was definitely that sweet chili sauce. It complemented the nuggets really well, which makes me think that McDonald's should definitely experiment with putting that on more of their chicken menu items.
Okay, so next up we have the brand new Saweetie Meal, which is a 4-piece nugget, a medium fry, and then a Big Mac, and then they have the sweet and sour and then the tangy barbecue sauce. My particular location did not have the, branded, I think there's like a diamond on it, Saweetie sweet and sour sauces. I mean, it's just for branding, but I would say if you're trying to find that particular branding, again, call your McDonald's and ask if they have it, because if not, you're just gonna get the regular one. Let's see how this Big Mac is. I imagine it will be like every other Big Mac I've ever had. I would say, again, if you're somebody who just doesn't like the idea of maybe the texture of pickles or even just the idea of it, you can probably get away with not having them on a Big Mac and you'll still get the traditional Big Mac flavor. So what's supposed to be special about the Saweetie Meal is that it's kind of a play on sweet and savory or sweet and spicy. You got the tangy barbecue, and then arguably one of my favorite sauces growing up as a kid was the sweet and sour sauce. Just for nostalgia's sake, let's take a trip down memory lane with sweet and sour and barbecue sauce. It reminds you almost of like duck sauce. If you've ever had duck sauce at a Chinese takeout spot, that kind of is what sweet and sour reminds me of. I like McDonald's barbecue. That tang, that slight spice, it works. And I want to see how these taste together. They definitely complement one another. Again, order of french fries. I'm just gonna get through this and then move on to the last meal.
McDonald's encouraged people to mix and match the Saweetie Meal how they saw fit, but anyone who's been on the internet has seen TikTok menu hacks or secret menu items, so you guys know what I'm talking about.
So I'm gonna finish up what's left of this Sprite, and then I'm gonna move on to the last, but certainly not least, Travis Scott meal. So the Travis Scott meal is a quarter pounder with cheese with lettuce and bacon. My McDonald's was very skimpy on the bacon, almost to the point of there not being much, if any, on there. I don't think that it would have really added much to this except for maybe a little bit of a crunch factor, but let's see how a quarter pounder with cheese tastes with bacon. I actually think I prefer the quarter pounder with cheese with the bacon. I don't know if it's just the way that their bacon complements the ketchup that they have on this, or that if the quality of the beef, which I think it is for the quarter pounders, is slightly different than just their normal cheeseburgers or even the Big Mac. But this works. I genuinely enjoy this. Now the barbecue sauce is supposed to be for the french fries, but I am curious to see how it tastes with the burger because of the bacon. Very straightforward barbecue bacon cheeseburger vibes.
The next time I get a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's, I think I'm gonna order it the Travis Scott way, except I'm gonna add some barbecue sauce to it.
So last, all I got is the french fries and then the Sprite. I'm just gonna try my best to get through this as quickly as possible and then get on to the final review for you guys.
Now that I'm done with all of McDonald's signature meals, stick around to the end to see whether or not I think any of these meals are still worth getting.
Final review time. So the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's start with the good first. One, I do like that each individual one has something slightly different and something slightly appealing about it, right? So the J Balvin meal, I like that he had the Oreo McFlurry in there. It was different than the rest because there was an actual dessert. I liked the Travis Scott meal because he added things to a burger that weren't on it that kind of complemented it. I think that even though those were simple add-ons, it did do something for the burger. The Saweetie Meal, what ended up making that a pretty good meal was just that there was variety. There was chicken nuggets, there was a burger, there was fries, and then there was 2 varieties of sauces, even though they're sauces that are already on the menu. And then what made the BTS meal cool is, honestly, out of all of them, it was the most innovative in that they came up with 2 sauces. That meal was interesting in that they offered something new and it wasn't just something that was already on the menu. Now the bad. I do think with a lot of these signature meals, and I may be in the minority on this, that I'm kind of disappointed with McDonald's as a whole because you're taking essentially this branding of old items and trying to make it seem like it's something new and inventive. I have seen people in comment sections say, well, technically that's not what it is. It's that they're signature meals and that this is what these people order when they go to McDonald's. And if that's the case, then great. But I don't know if that's where McDonald's is making their money. Their marketing team came up with a clever way of being able to market old products in a new way without having to invest much money in R&D and research, and simply taking that money and then paying the individual celebrities or artists that they use to endorse those meals. Kudos to McDonald's marketing team and to the individual people like J Balvin and Saweetie and BTS and Travis Scott that got paid for doing so, because get that bag. But I would say from a consumer standpoint, I do wish that McDonald's was a little bit more inventive in the way that they approach this. Now, this does beg the question, what would your signature meal be if you guys were to order from McDonald's? I think for me, I would probably do something like the hot caramel sundae with like mashed up pieces of the baked apple pie, and then maybe serve that almost like a sundae on top of the apple fritter. I know that's a lot going on, but I think that that would be something that's fun. Let me know down in the comment section below what you would have. You guys already know the deal. Like, share, subscribe. If you're not already following us on Instagram, head over there and give us a follow. And remember, if you are what you eat, always eat amazing. Catch you guys on the next one.